Hi there kiddos, I'm your host Nazima and today I'm going to show you some interesting science experiments. Well, before starting, we should know the meaning of term expansion and contraction. What does the term expand mean and what does the term contract mean? Now take a look at this balloon. If I fill air into this balloon, what happens? It expands. It increases in size. Expansion means to grow larger. And what does contraction mean? Contraction means the process of reducing in size. When it becomes smaller in size, it means contract. It has contracted, right? So take a look here, check it out. I have a pot of boiling hot water and a bowl of ice cold water here. What happens if I immerse it in a pot of boiling hot water? Let's see. Well, it expands. The air expands and the balloon fills with air. It's inflated. Now what happens if I put it in a bowl of ice cold water? Well, it looks like the air goes out of the balloon. So, when you cool it, the air contracts. This shows the big idea today. And the big idea today is that when air is heated, it expands. And when air is cooled, it contracts. Scientists are always measuring things. Well, I wonder if there is a way that we can measure how much the air contracts or it expands. Well, there is a way, and for that, I have a very simple setup here. This is our measuring bottle. I have calibrated it. Now, how did I do that? It's very simple. I took a measuring beaker, I poured 50 ml water here, I marked it, and then I poured it in this bottle, and then I marked 50. And I kept on filling it up till I reached the very top. Now, I have mixed some food coloring in this water so that you could see it better. Now, I have to put my safety gloves on. Carefully, I'm going to pour hot water into this bottle. Now, I don't need a lot. I just need enough to heat the air inside this bottle. See, the air inside this bottle is being heated and it's expanding. And when I think it's expanding enough, it's heated enough in this bottle, what I'm going to do, I'm going to dump it back here and I'm going to insert it in a jar of cold water. Now what you should see is the air, when it comes in contact with the cold water, it starts contracting. See? It's drawing up the water, the air is contracting. When I started this experiment, the bottle was filled with air, but now it's contracting. You can see the blue line is rising, and actually I'm going to add an ice cube on the top and cool the air as much as possibly can and see how much the air has contracted. Wow. Now we could see that air in this bottle has contracted even more than half of its original volume. The air is contracting, contracting, contracting. Whole bottle was filled with air when I started the experiment. But as we cooled the air, as the air came in contact with the cold water, it started contracting. See, now we can measure to almost 420 milliliters. The air has contracted up to 420 milliliters. Isn't it amazing children that we can measure how much the air has contracted? Now I wonder if we could measure how much the air expands. I can show you one simple way to do that. For this I have a simple setup here. This is my air bottle. It has nothing inside it except air. This is our push bottle. It's going to show us actually how much the air is expanded. And this is our measuring bottle. I have this in a kettle because I'm going to pour really hot water in this kettle. And what is the hot water going to do? It's going to heat up the air inside the bottle. And what's the heated air going to do? It's going to expand. The heated air is going to expand and it has no space to go except up through the straw and into the little air space here. Now, if this air is expanding with enough force and pressure, it should be enough pressure to push down on this water. And this water has no place to go except up through the straw and into this measuring bottle. Now children, do you know what happens? Sometimes when mistakenly we blow down the juice instead of upwards, what happens? I'll show you. The juice overflows. In the same manner, when the air is going to push down on this water, it's going to overflow. And it's going to overflow through the straw and into our measuring bottle here. It's a pretty cool chain reaction, but it's nothing, just air expanding. So when I'm going to pour hot water into this, just watch carefully, right? Now this really hot water is going into this pot. Children, you have to watch carefully. I'm going to pour it into this pot. And this water is going to heat the air inside this bottle. And it's going to push down on the water. And it's going to overflow into a measuring bottle. There, the air has expanded and it's happening fast. It happened fast and we almost 300 milliliters, children. Isn't it really fascinating that we were not able to see it, but we were also able to measure it? Otherwise, it is invisible to the eye. We can't see the air expanding and contracting. But through our demonstration here, we were able to see what that air was expanding and contracting, and we were actually able to measure it. I love science because science is so cool and amazing. Now get ready for the next experiment. I'm surrounded by rocks. Well, for some of you, rocks may not be so exciting, but they actually are. Rocks come in different shapes and sizes. Sand is also actually a rock. It is a rock that has been broken down from bigger rocks. Now, what in the world could be strong enough to break down a rock? Well, I can't. Then what can? Believe it or not, it's plain, ordinary water. Water has power to break down rocks. If I put this rock into this water and sit here all day long, how is this water going to break down this rock? Well, through science, we have discovered that it takes a lot of time and something else to break down the rock. And what is that something else? It is a phenomena called freezing. Water, when it freezes, it expands. And when that water is expanding, nothing in the world can stop it from expanding. I have this water bottle here, and if I were to put it in the freezer and wait for a day, what will happen? The water inside this bottle is going to expand, and this bottle is going to break into lots of little pieces, and it's really pretty dangerous to do, and I don't want to try it. So I have to come up with safer ideas for you to show that water on freezing, it expands. I have 3 safer ways to show you the power of water to break down rocks. The simplest way to show you the power of water to crack and break things is a raw egg. Take an egg. I don't want you to hard boil it because I want the liquid inside to freeze. So I'm going to put this in freezer and check it the next day. Let's check it out. See? The liquid inside the egg froze and it expanded and it cracked the shell of the egg because it expanded. Another safer way and more tastier way to see the power of water to break and crack things is using chocolate syrup. I'm going to dip it in this water balloon to form a nice coating of chocolate layer, and then you can smear it on this balloon. Keep smearing it on till a nice coating of chocolate layer is formed on this water balloon. Here we have a nice chocolatey water balloon. Now, how would I hang it in the freezer without making a big mess? For that, I need a skewer stick or a toothpick. You just got to poke it through the top of the balloon, and when it stops dripping, there are shelves in the freezer. You slide it there, put a weight on it, and let it hang there for around 4-5 hours and see what happens. Water balloons that I had kept in the freezer a few hours ago, and this water in the balloon has expanded and it's broken the chocolate covering of a balloon. I've done it with two white chocolate layer and the brown one, the dark chocolate. So you see the water has expanded and it's frozen and it's broken and cracked through this chocolate layer. Now I will put this water balloon in this paper cup and pour POP on the top. But the problem with this balloon is that when I pour POP on it, it tries to wobble up and float up on the surface because it's lighter in weight. So I have to come up with an idea so that this water balloon sticks to the bottom. That I'm going to show you right now. I need a thumbtack. I'm going to poke a hole right in the center of this paper cup, and then I'm going to use a pencil to make the hole larger. I'm going to twist and push. Here, this cup has a decent sized hole, and now the next trick is to get the neck of this balloon through this paper cup. This twist tie comes in. I need to get this to the neck of the balloon, poke it right through the neck of the balloon. It's a bit tricky thing to do, and then I have to twist it and make sure that it holds, and then I have to scrunch the end through the hole of the paper cup. Here it comes. I have to take this off and pull it so that it doesn't fall into this cup, and then I'm going to tape its end. I'm going to tape it nicely. We have a balloon that's not going to float on the surface. See? And now we are going to mix our plaster. So I have POP in this cup, and I'm going to add some water. Now we have to add little quantity of water, not too much. The consistency should be the same as we had of the chocolate syrup. So we're just going to mix it just the right amount. Now when I've mixed it properly, I have to pour it over my water balloon, and I have to cover it fully with the POP. Try to keep the balloon in the center when you pour it. And now let it harden for around 3-4 hours, and when it hardens, just take a scissor and cut this cup away. What will you do after this POP has hardened? Just let it dry for a day more, and then when it becomes rock solid, keep it in the freezer. I have already done it for you, and let's see, check out our freezer and see what happens to the plaster. Now see, look at the cracks. The water has frozen in this balloon, and when it has frozen, it has cracked the plaster. It is almost as hard as a rock, and the water was able to crack this plaster. So can you see the amazing ability of water to crack and break things? Look here at this one. Now, it doesn't seem to be cracked, and here seems the balloon inside too. Now, I filled it with air, and you know that air on cooling contracts. It does not expand, so nothing happened. It did not crack. Scientists who study rocks are called geologists, and who knows, one day one of you might grow up and become a geologist. I enjoyed the session as much you all did, children. Thank you for joining. See you soon. Love you, children. Bye-bye.